Hey go-getters! Happy Thursday! Welcome to today's Facebook Live session. I'm going to sit down because I feel like I can never get this phone tripod thing in the right position. I feel like I'm always squatting down. I'm pretty sure, right? But anyway, so I'm going to sit down today. But today I am coming to you live to talk about entrepreneur burnout. We're going to be talking all about where it comes from, why it shows up in our lives, and how we can squash it. Because entrepreneur burnout is such a real problem. It doesn't matter whether you are in the first stages of setting up your business or whether you already have an established business 2 to 3 years or beyond, right? Burnout can still show up. And it does show up for probably every entrepreneur I know. Now, we're going to get into all of that today. So as you're coming on live, make sure you say hey so I can see the comments are working and tell me how your Thursday's going. Okay? So before I start our live session today talking all things entrepreneur burnout, I do want to just let you know. So last night we did week 3. I hosted week 3's webinar of the Empowerment Project. I went live last night talking all things motivation, right? 3 secrets of how I master my motivation. Now we had a small, just a teeny, technical glitch halfway through the webinar. So the replay that is still, I'm still letting the replay sit in the group, but it cuts off suddenly at about 35 minutes and it wasn't supposed to do that. So I am in the middle of trying to get the replay sorted out, and I will make sure I post it. So it will probably sit in the group much longer than I have done previously because of the technical glitch. But at the end of the webinar last night, I announced that I have space in my roster. I've opened up 7 spaces for you to join me in my 16-week coaching program, Be More. Now, Be More is my lifestyle and business signature program. This is a high access one-to-one coaching program for the action taker, the serious entrepreneur who really is ready to manage her time management, to sort those out, to make sure she's actually able to do all the things that she wants to do in her business, as well as all the things that she has to do in her business. It's for the serious action taker who has no excuses, is ready to do the work, is ready to put the work in to achieving her dream business and lifestyle. Now, this program is a game changer. And the reason it's a game changer is because I have a unique approach to coaching, right? Business coaching. Because we will talk about funnels and email lists and those kind of things, but the way I approach business coaching is in a unique way. I want to make sure that you are taken care of. So I make sure that you are guided every single step of the way. So you have contact and access to me pretty much 7 days a week throughout the whole time we work together. And the idea of this is to give you the accountability that you need, the support that you need, so that you always know what the next step is, right? To get back to why you started this business, to get back to why it is you want to do this work, why you built this career, why you're working for yourself. And so that you can actually do all of those things that allow you to feel empowered. I don't want you to feel disempowered. I know what it feels like to feel really disempowered in your business. And so I created this coaching program because I want women to know that their voice needs to be heard, that their packages should be available, to their ideal client is available, their ideal client is out there waiting for them. And whilst we as coaches can often sit there and be like, well, where are they? The ideal client is probably sitting out there also like, well, where is this person who's going to change my life? And you are likely that person for them, right? They just don't know you exist yet. So I'm going to be empowering you to take more action in your business, to actually take those next steps, take it from where it is, level up, get shit done consistently, and build your business to where you want it to be. Start those projects that you've been putting off, those ones are sitting there that you're either a little bit nervous to start, you're not sure where to start. We're going to start those projects, right? We're going to build them out. We're going to make sure that you're taking action in your business in that way. And you're going to take those next steps. So in 4 months, you're going to have a business that actually looks the way you want it to look. Doesn't feel, you're not afraid of people going to your website. You're going to have, an Instagram feed that is really showing up, a social media feed that is curated in a way that people actually show up and they get to know you and who you are. And they get to know exactly what you can offer them as well as the kind of person you are. that you get to say something different, that you're not just saying what everybody else is saying, and that you get to stand out and really show the world what you have to offer. And, you know, this is why Be More is so unique, because I want to make sure you don't get put into a group and kind of sent on your way, right? There's kind of off you go, go on then. I can see somebody's on live, but I don't know who it is. Make sure you say hey as you're coming on live, guys. I don't believe putting people into a group and just going like, off you go, we're all going to hold hands, because it doesn't work like that, does it? We're all in different positions in our lives. We have different lifestyles. We have different businesses. And so what I want to make sure is that, hey, Kate, what I want to make sure is that as you go through the coaching program, you are actually guided in a way that feels right for you. So you're not all working to the same crib sheet, that you're not all doing exactly the same work, because that isn't realistic, right? That isn't realistic. We don't all live the same lives, and we don't have the same businesses, and we don't have the same passions. We don't have the same reasons why. We all might have similar passions and similar reasons why, but they're not the same, right? What fires me up is different to what fires you up. And so what we do during Be More is really make it unique and intimate for you, so you actually get that accountability and support you need ongoing for the full 4 months, and that we actually can make progress in your business and in your lifestyle. By the end of the 4 months, you are living that life that you imagined in your business. You are taking those next steps, that you're not sitting there like, I don't know what to do, and you're also not crying into your laptop with this to-do list the length of your arm, not getting anything done, right? You're going to get that work done, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So that's why Be More is so unique. That is why I created this coaching program, because I wanted to kind of fill in those holes that I felt like were missing from my business, that felt like were missing from the coaching that I had been through. I wanted to fill in those holes and really give you, the fearless female entrepreneur that, you know, wants to really level up and create that business and lifestyle that she imagined. I want to give you that opportunity. So Be More is currently open for enrollment. Okay, I have 7 spaces available. And last night on the webinar, which, as I've said, technical problem, we're fixing it. Last night on the webinar, I announced that there are webinar bonuses exclusive for you, but they expire, as well as the discount that I've offered, they expire next Wednesday at 12 noon. So that's 12 noon British time. They expire. And the bonuses, I'm going to just run through them, because again, we don't have the replay in the group right now, but the bonuses, first bonus you're going to receive is an extra 90-minute coaching call. So you're going to get an extra 90 minutes to get on the phone with me, strategize, business brainstorm, create solutions, go through whatever it is that you want to work in your business and life at that moment. So you're going to get an extra 90 minutes with me to go through that. You're also going to get your own copy of my 12-month Be More priority planner. So this is the exact plan that I use every single month, right? I use it every single month. I get my priorities straight. I make sure that I know what I'm doing month after month after month. And I use it. It's so simple, but I use it, and it really allows me to stay on track in my business and in my life. I'm able to see my goals really easily. It's not kind of all over the place. And it's really, really simple and effective. You're going to get a copy of that. Now, it's a 12-month undated planner, so you'll use it during our time together. I will definitely get you to prompt you to use it, and you can use it beyond then as well, right, to keep you on track. It really gives you that accountability and support you need to manage your time. It's one of the most critical parts of my time management. And the third bonus that you're going to get is access to my 5 video tutorial Thriving Goal Setters Academy. Thriving Goal Setters Academy is kind of a how-to on goal setting, right? They're 5 videos, all are under 30 minutes. You're going to get access to all 5 days. And Thriving Goal Setters Academy, I want to be clear, this is not like a SMART goal kind of situation, right? I'm not going through what SMART goals are. I don't use SMART goals in my business or in my life. I personally feel like they're a bit overused and outdated, so I don't use that. But this is much more of the mindset behind goal setting. Why aren't we setting goals that are actually a little bit more challenging, right? And how to do that. And so it's a 5 video tutorial. You're going to get access to all of that. It's going to give you the support and accountability to set those goals in your business, how much money you want to make, how many clients do you want to take on, what kind of business are you looking to create and then work towards. So I'm going to be going through all of that with you. So those are 3 bonuses that you're going to be getting. Now, all of the information, those bonuses, what you get in the program, what the program involves, all of that is on my website. So all you need to do is go to melanieknights.com/be-more. So be-more. Now, with that, as I said, the bonuses and the discount are going to expire at 12 noon on Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, March 21st. So I just wanted to make sure you knew that it's open, it is ready and available for you. Now, if you have more questions, or you go through the sales page and like, I'm really interested, but I have a couple of questions before I make sure I, secure my space, you can actually book a discovery call with me right now. So my diary is open, and discovery call means we will get on the phone and we will actually just make sure that the program is the right fit for you. So it's not, it's a discovery call is not for coaching. It's not a case of, coaching you through the program. The discovery call is all about you getting on the phone, asking the questions you have, but it's really for the women who are really ready to go, right? You're like, yes, I want this program. I want to join in. I want the coaching. I need to make these changes, but I have a question, right? So if you're ready to make that commitment, you can book your discovery call right now. My diary is open. You can click the link in the description of this video, click the link, and it will take you straight to my scheduler. And you can just book your call, right? You can book your call and we'll get on the phone and we will make sure that it's the right fit for you, because I don't want you investing in a program that is not the right fit for you. So that all being said, right, we're going to get into today's Facebook Live session, which is all about entrepreneur burnout. Now, I find this a really interesting topic because some of you may know that I come from a health and fitness background. So I used to coach female fat loss, and a lot of the work I did was in relation to hormonal fat loss and biochemical processes with regards to fat loss. And so stress management, stress relief, and also burnout were a huge part of my coaching when I was a health and fat loss coach. So it's no surprise that I get kind of really interested in this stuff. I'm really fascinated by entrepreneur burnout just as much as I was by over-exercising, under-eating, and dieting, right, when it comes to burnout. So entrepreneur burnout is kind of a tricky beast because, as I said at the beginning, I think everyone who is running a business, whether you're very early days or you are further through the business, I think you experience this at some point. And it can be really, really awful because it can appear at the most difficult times, right? And the reason it appears at the most difficult times is because usually when you are kind of very close to leveling up your business, making the money that you desire, booking that full roster of clients, all of a sudden you can feel really overwhelmed. Now, of course, this can frequently happen when you are going through a launch or you are putting together a new coaching package. Those are the times when you most will find yourself maybe feeling burnt out, right? You're working really hard to try and get all the things and pieces together. You're working really hard, you're showing up, you're doing consistent work, and you might be feeling burnt out. And the reason you're going to be feeling burnt out is because overwhelm, fear, and self-doubt are showing up, right? Because really, the reason we get burnt out when it comes to our businesses is because we are looking at everything we need to do and we're so frantic. We're like going from one thing to the other, trying to get everything done when we're not looking at it strategically and saying, well, actually, what do I need to do first? And just allowing it to be a process and taking it one step at a time. Instead, what we do is we go from one thing to the next. We feel very chaotic. And we feel like we need to get everything done right now, and that if we don't do everything right now, that it's going to fall apart. But it just isn't true. So with entrepreneur burnout, what so often can happen is that we start to lose sleep. We stop eating as well. We're not taking care of ourselves, whether that's like exercising, walking, yoga class, whatever, all those things that we do regularly or that we show up for usually in our businesses and in our lives. Suddenly we stop doing it because it's like, no, I have to work. And if I don't work, this is all going to fall apart. I'm going to be an absolute failure. What that really is going on there is all that self-doubt, right? That feeling of failure. Is showing up, and it leads to basically self-sabotage. Often entrepreneur burnout is a process that comes from, or results, that comes from self-sabotage. So your fears, your self-doubt, they start to show up, whether it is conscious or subconscious. And you start to say to yourself, well, I have time, or, it's fine. I can sit back. I've got some space. I don't need to get that done right now. Or we start to do those really easy and small tasks that are not important and they're not urgent. and we start to do those first rather than actually tackling the bigger tasks, the things that we know are probably going to take more time. We put those off because they're the ones that are actually going to get us closer to our goals, right? They're like the $1,000 tasks, and we focus on the $10 tasks. And so we start filling our time with loads of $10 tasks, and instead of actually, them making serious money or making serious progression in our business, we're not focusing on our $1,000 tasks, the things that are actually going to make that massive difference and that big dent in your bottom line. Now, with entrepreneur burnout, it's such a tricky beast, because the problem is, I've shared this, I think I shared it on Instagram this week, I don't know if I shared anywhere else, but as a female entrepreneur, our mindsets are, can be very, they're like a spider's web, okay? There's so many different parts of it. And, there's all of the fears and the self-doubt and the struggle and the overwhelm. And then there's all of the excitement and the motivation and the real joy that our businesses bring us, right? When we get results, or when we see amazing things happen, or when we read a comment, a really positive comment. That's the great thing about being an online entrepreneur, is that often when you are building a personal brand where you are sharing your skills and expertise through social media, what can often happen is that you will find the smallest comment will make a massive difference in your life, because the reality is you would probably do what you do for free, right? You would probably do what you do for free. You're not going to, let me be clear, you're not going to, but you probably would. And so in those such circumstances where you feel like you are doing it for free, and you're sharing your free content, you're writing, you're sharing, you're doing whatever you do in your business, and it feels so amazing when things are acknowledged. But that burnout can really put a dent in that, because all of a sudden we start to go into scarcity, we start to live in fear, we start to worry more about how many followers we have, or how many likes we're going to get, or how many people are reading, how many people are watching, how many people are listening, right? We start to get into that. The reality is, like, right now Kate was watching, as far as I know, no one's watching this live video, but it doesn't mean nobody's going to watch the live video. It doesn't mean that no one is going to show up. It doesn't mean that my message isn't going to reach someone and be of importance, right? And we have to make sure that as entrepreneurs, especially if you are online and you're building a personal brand, right, you have to just live and breathe what you're talking about, and you have to just stay really present and make sure, and it's easier said than done, trust me, but you have to stay present and really just keep sharing what you do and why you do it and why it's important, and let people get to know who you are. Because when you start to feel burnt out in your business, you stop doing that, right? When you start to feel burnt out and overwhelmed in your business, you stop doing that. All of a sudden you haven't posted on Facebook or Instagram. All of a sudden you stop writing to your email list. You stop blogging. All of a sudden you don't do Facebook Lives, right? All of a sudden you're living in this fear that nobody likes you. You're living in scarcity. There's not enough success for you. And it's just not true, right? There is enough. There is an abundant amount of money, an abundant amount of success, an abundant amount of clients for every single one of us. And so when we show up, we have to consistently show up. And I shared this in the first week of the Empowerment Project. I talked about consistency and how important that is. I said that was one of the main things I did when I started my business, was I was really consistent. So I started showing up in inboxes. I started writing blogs. As I said back then, people on my email list, it was my mum, my dad, my husband. It was a few work colleagues, friends and family, no one that was going to pay me any money to coach them. And, they were reading it, and that was great, but they weren't my ideal client. But it didn't matter, because that's how every single one of us gets started, right? Every single person I know gets started, and they have people they know, right? People who they know in real life on their email list, because you know what? Those people care what you're doing, and those people want to read what you're doing. And so you have to go back to that time when you were at the very beginning of your business, and those were the people that were only showing up, right? It's no different. Remember that, when you start to feel burnt out, that it's not really burnout. It is fear, overwhelm, and it is self-doubt showing up, right? Now, it's going to be showing up for different reasons for each of us, but the ways that you can start to squash it is to stop looking for balance. So stop trying to balance out everything in your life. I talked about this in last night's webinar, and I feel like it's really, really important, so I want to talk about it again. Is that, you know, when you're seeking balance in your life, if you're seeking work-life balance, or if you're trying to make sure that you can be everything to everyone, you will find burnout, right? Burnout will show up for you, and you will become overwhelmed because you can't balance it all. It's not real. Balance is bullshit. You can't balance out every single area of your life. It cannot all be equal. At least it cannot all be amazing at the same time and equal, right? You can be mediocre in various things, but you cannot be amazing in every single thing. So you have to, you know, really take the time that you have, whether it's in your business or in your personal life, and make sure you really, you know, the moment when you are on a date night with your husband or your partner, that you are on a date night with your husband or your partner and you're not immersed in your business. And when you're in your business, you are getting shit done, right? You're not sitting around worrying about how many people are reading the stuff. You know, you want to have an idea of analytics, but it should not be stopping you from posting things. It shouldn't be stopping you from showing up as the fearless business owner that you are, right? So you should really be living more in that state of, you know, how can I serve my audience? How can I continue to show up? How can I continue to be the best coach and the best business owner that I am, and really share my knowledge with other people? Because, you know, as I said, when you start to get burnt out, you stop seeing that there are amazing people around you. All you worry about is the people that haven't arrived yet, right? Brene Brown talks about this really, really well. She talks about it in relation to friendships, but I think it, you know, it applies the same in business. When you look at these friendships, right, as female friendships that you see, maybe it's in TV or magazines, we are taught that, you know, you need tons of friends. But the reality is, if you want to have that kind of relationship with somebody where they've got your back no matter what, you don't need tons of people to do that, right? You can just have one person and you're golden, right? Just having one person in your life like that is amazing. It's the same when it comes to business. There is this saying that you only need 1,000 true fans, and that you don't need millions of people, right? You only need 1,000 true fans. And so that's why when you're in a really good mental space and you write something that you're really proud of, and somebody comments or likes or responds in a really positive way, it can totally change and uplift your mood, and you feel like you've just made $1 million, even if, you haven't made anything, because it's about what you do, right? It's about how you're making impact in those people's lives. It's not about, everything else that's going on. They don't know, the back end of your business. They don't know what you're struggling with, right? They don't need to know every single struggle there and then. We want to be authentic. We want to show up as is. We want to show up, really showing our struggles, but we don't need to show everything in the exact moment that it happens, right? Because sometimes things are really hard. Sometimes we don't want to share things in that exact moment. Doesn't mean we're being inauthentic. We have personal lives. We cannot show everything in that moment. And so really, burnout is the same, right? When you start to feel that you're getting really overwhelmed, you really want to just take a step back, really look at what's going on. Why am I feeling overwhelmed? Why am I feeling, this fear? What is going on? Am I close to a certain project? Do I have something happening that's going to really, really be amazing for me and I'm trying to sabotage it? Has something happened that I'm really excited about, but I'm also nervous because I don't know what the outcome's going to be, right? Start to look at where your fears are. And you're all very self-aware, so you should be able to do that very easily, but start to look at where your fears are and start to move past those. Start to look at why it is you're feeling that burnout. And then work your way back, because the reality is that overwhelm, that fear and that self-doubt, it will stifle you, right? It will stifle you and it will stifle your business. You cannot work consistently and well, you cannot do that from a place of overwhelm and self-doubt and self-sabotage, right? You cannot do that. Trust me, right? I've been there. I know what that feels like. So you can't do it, right? When you're working in this frantic state of fear and self-doubt, it becomes exhausting. And all that will happen is you will become burnt out. You will start to worry more about all the people who aren't showing up in your business or, aren't reading your work than the people that are. So show up for the people that are, right? Make sure when you're having those moments of just feeling like, show up for the people that already know you exist. Show up for the people that already love you and know, like, and trust you. And Don't let it stifle you and your business. All right. Don't let it stifle you and your business. Now, one of the other ways that I really, I've kind of practiced consistently is every time a little bit of overwhelm starts to show up in my business, I sit back and I'm like, look, you know what? Everything's going to get done, because it always does, right? It's kind of the conversation I have with myself. I'm like, whoa, everything will get done because it always does, right? And anything that doesn't get done, it's not going to be the end of the world, is the first thing. But the second thing is I start to look at, okay, what can be done right now, right? What can be done right now? What is the most urgent and important stuff? Now, you know, other things that I need to put in place to get this urgent, important thing done, or can I just dive straight into it? Am I in the right headspace to deal with this urgent and important task, right? I talked about it a moment ago. You know, you don't want to be, if you have $1,000 task sitting there and you have, you know, $10 tasks, you don't want to be spending all of your time and energy on the $10 tasks. Decide, can they wait? Could somebody else do it, right? Could they be done in real time? So for example, let's take Instagram, right? Let's say you post on Instagram consistently, let's say every day. You know, do you need to schedule that out, right? I do schedule most of mine out, but there are times, right, when I can't. And I don't consider that to be a big task in my business. It's something I can do very easily and quickly. I have a ton of photos. I can easily stick something together in Canva. I can upload it. I can put some words to it. It'll be fine, right? But let's say creating a webinar, that takes way more time. Trust me, it takes way more time, right? Creating that webinar, getting those slides together, that is going to go out to more people. That is very specific and it's exclusive. And, you know, those people are going to be learning something. And it's, you know, it's an hour-long presentation. That, to me, is $1,000 task, right? So you have to decide. You know, don't look at it in the sense of, is this going to make me $1,000? If this is the case, then yes. But look at it in the sense of which tasks can be done in real time. For example, if it's something like posting on social media, something like that. And which tasks do I need to get done now? What needs to be done as soon as possible because it's urgent and important. And that's really how I've practiced over time, really dealing with any burnout. Now, I do want to just share one thing with you, which I think is really interesting. It's a really interesting kind of side effect as you start to work through the overwhelm, the self-doubt, the fear, and you start to come out the other side of this burnout and you stop feeling burnout and you start to feel like, actually, I'm in a really good, confident flow with my business, right? What can sometimes happen is you can then start to be like, I don't like this feeling, because we become so used to and comfortable in the self-doubt, the overwhelm, the fear, that we don't know how to deal with our lives and our businesses if we're not constantly frantic, right? We don't know how to run a business if it's not overwhelming, if it's not rushed, if it's not feeling like we're flying by the seat of our pants. If all of a sudden we have systems and solutions in place, it can be really scary. And that's one of the reasons why, you know, I do this with my clients in Be More, is because I know that you need accountability and support, right? You also need to be called out on your shit, right? That's the short of it. You need to be called out on your shit when, you know, all of a sudden you are thinking to yourself, I have this solution in place and everything's going really, really well. This isn't good. I must be missing out on something. There's going to be, something's going to fall out. The bottom's going to fall out of this. I'm not going to do what is supposed to be done. That's not necessarily true. And that's one of the reasons why I guide you through Be More. And that's why you have the one-to-one high access, is because I know that happens. I know that when we start to actually see things coming together and we come out the other side of this fear, this self-doubt, the overwhelm, all of a sudden we're like, shit, I need to sabotage this. This can't be right. And we start to go back to this frantic state, this overwhelmed state, because that's where we are used to our businesses being. We're used to that comfort of the overwhelm, the fear, and the self-doubt. But that's no way to work. And obviously all that happens is you stay stuck in that cycle, right? And, you know, you cannot put out your best work when you feel that way. So, you know, that's one of the reasons why I work with female entrepreneurs to create these solutions in their business, to actually guide them through it, rather than just being like, here's this solution, off you go forth, peace out, go and deal with it. Because it is a difference, right? When you've actually got skin in the game and you're actually showing up and actually putting in the work, there's a massive difference there. So those are the ways that burnout can show up in your life. Those are the reasons why burnout show up in your life as an entrepreneur. And I've shared with you how you can squash it, okay? So, burnout is really about this overwhelmed self-doubt, fear that's showing up, and if you're starting to feel burnt out, it's probably because you are allowing your business to control you rather than you being in control of your business. And you need to take a step back, figure out what needs to be done right now, what can wait, what are those $1,000 and $10 tasks, and then start to, decide what needs to be done right now. Can things be, can things wait? What can be delayed? What can wait a second? What doesn't need to be done right now, and do what has to be done right now. And then, as I said, also ending the strive for balance. Striving for balance is just going to continue to burn you out because it's not real, right? It's not real. You cannot get it. You cannot be perfect in every single area of your life. You will get burnt out, and you will get overwhelmed. So instead, just to be aware of the fact that you get to be killing it in every area of your life, just not all at the same time. So instead of trying to kill it in your business and in your lifestyle and your relationships and in communication and in your health, just know that, when you're at the gym, you're at the gym. When you're at your desk, you're at your desk. When you're on a date night, you're on a date night. When you're with your kids, you're with your kids, right? Each of those areas gets to have your full attention in those moments. And it's easier said than done, but the more you practice it, the easier it will become. So I hope that you've enjoyed this Facebook Live session. I really enjoyed coming on live. Thank you for joining me. If you're watching on the replay, make sure you type in a replay so I know that you're watching. And as I said, right now, you can book your discovery call to make sure that Be More is the right fit for you and your business, and it's the right time for you, and just to make sure that I can help you, but that you actually are going to be able to do the work that's required, okay? So make sure you go and book your discovery call. The link to book is in the description of the video. My diary is open. You can book a call with me as soon as next week. And we'll get on the phone, we'll go through it, we'll discuss it, answer any questions you have, and we'll get that party started. So just a reminder, there's 7 spaces available for Be More. The discount and the bonuses expire next Wednesday, 12 noon at British time. And yeah, that's it from me today. So I hope you've had a great day. Have a great Thursday if you are still on a different time zone earlier in the day. And I will see you all very, very soon. Bye.